Hi students, I am R. Ambikeshwari, Assistant Professor, Department of English, KCS Kasnadar College of Arts and Science, Chennai. Now I am going to explain you the story, A Flowering Tree. A Flowering Tree is a short story written by A.K. Ramanujam. In actuality, it is a Kannada folklore told by a woman which is translated by A.K. Ramanujam to English. Like most folk tales from around the world, the flowering tree synthesizes two discrete elements. First, an important narrative. A girl turns into a tree, a prince marries a peasant. And second, mythic archetypes which resonates deeply with all of us, no matter what our beliefs. According to Ramanujan himself, who has analyzed a folk tale while translating it, it is a story of a woman's ecology and vulnerability of her emerging sexuality. Now, let us get into the story. There lived a poor woman in a certain town with her two daughters. The younger daughter decided to help her impoverished family. She turned into a beautiful tree by performing a strange ritual with her elder sister. They carefully performed a ritual which required two pitchers of water, one to transform the younger to a tree and the other back to human form. Her elder sister plucked flowers from the transformed tree, making sure that she doesn't damage any other parts of a tree. She then converts herself into a human form. They weaved the fragrant flowers into a garland and sold them at the king's palace. They decided to keep this a secret from their mother and saved the money for future. On one day, the prince discovers those garlands in a palace and gets curious about its origin. He followed the girls back to their house. Next morning at dawn, he went to their house and hid himself behind a tree, and eventually saw a secret origin of the flowers. He asked his parents, that is, his king and queen, to marry the girl that sold flowers and told them the secret. The minister summoned the girl's mother and presented the proposal. She couldn't help but agree. Later, at her house, the younger daughter had to demonstrate how she transformed into a tree to pacify her angry mother. After the wedding, several nights passed without him speaking to her or touching her. Finally, he makes his demand. She must do the transformation for him. Ashamed, she resists but finally relents and performs the ceremony for him. Her envious sister-in-law watched her do the demonstration on one night. She forced her to transform into a tree and broke her branches while plucking the flowers. They also ignored the water ritual and poured water on her indifferently here and there. When the princess changed to the human form, she had no hands and feet. She had only half a body. She was wounded, carcass. She crawled into a gutter. Next morning, a cotton wagon driver spotted her and rescued her from the gutter. She covered her naked body with a turban cloth. He left her at a ruined pavilion in a town. Her husband's elder sister was married to the king of this town. The palace servant informed the queen about her. She was brought to the palace, bathed, healed, and kept at the main door as a thing for a decoration. Meanwhile, the prince, distraught at his wife's disappearance, assumes that she left him due to his arrogance. Full of remorse, he turned to a beggar and wandered across the country. After a long time, the prince, haggard and unrecognizable, reached her elder sister's town. In shock, the queen recognized her brother and brought him to the palace where he was bathed and fed. He never uttered a single word. His sister was worried and tried all sorts of ways to make him speak. One day, she sent a half body of his wife in a hope that the beauty would move him. He immediately recognized his lost wife. She told him the complete incident. She asked him to perform the ritual and fix all her broken branches and then transform her back to a human form in a hope that she would be normal again. The method worked out. The queen, his elder sister, bid him farewell. The king, the prince's father, was overjoyed at the return of his long lost son and daughter in law. After discovering the bitter truth, the king had 7 barrels of burning lime poured into a great pit and threw his youngest daughter into it. All the people who saw this said to themselves, "After all, every wrong had its punishment." In this, the author connects the story with the ecology. According to A.K. Ramanujam, one of its reasons itself are present concerns with ecology and conservation. Each time the younger daughter becomes a tree, she begs the person who is with her to treat her gently and not to pluck anything more than the flowers. The warning for not plucking more than what is required is in coherence with the practice of sustainable development. There is also the suggestion that the tree is vulnerable to careless handling like a woman. A tree that has become to flowers or fruits will not be cut down. It is treated as a mother, a woman who has given birth. Again, another reference the author gives here with the story is ecofeminism. This folk tale shows a strong connection between women and nature. The metaphoric connections between a tree and the woman are many and varied in the culture. A relevant one here is that the words for flowering and menstruation are the same in languages like Sanskrit and Tamil. In Sanskrit, the menstruation woman is called a Pushpavati, a woman in flower, and in Tamil, Poothal, flowering, means menstruation. Menstruation itself is a form and a metaphor for a woman's special creativity. Thus, women's biological and other kinds of creativity are symbolized by flowering. In this tale, the metaphor is literalized and extended by the author. Thanks for listening to my video.